All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Math ZZ Step by Step. In this 38th video, we're going to continue converting fractions into decimals into percents. And like I left off last time, I told you I'd make this next video much easier to follow. I hope I've accomplished that goal. So we have a fraction of 1/4, and that's equivalent or equal to 1 divided by 4, right? Every fraction's a division problem. 1 divided by 4. Also, if you're going to write it into a calculator, 1 divided by 4. So another way to write this fraction. And then, of course, 1 divisor bar 4. So each one of these means the exact same thing. It's just written in a different form. Okay, again, 1/2 can be written as 1 divided by 4 and 1 divisor bar 4. Okay, we're going to use this divisor bar to convert this fraction into a decimal. Hey, let's do that now. Okay, so again, 1 divided by 4, 4. Okay, to the right of this 1 is an invisible decimal, right? And so I'm showing you that decimal now. And to the right of that decimal are a million, billion, trillion zeros, right? That's what the dot, 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 these are my invisible zeros. You can write as many zeros as you need to the right in order to complete this type of problem. All right, you write them in as a whole zero. I'm using dot, dot, dot to show you they're invisible, right? They're to the right of that decimal. They go on and on forever. I'm going to take that decimal, I'm going to raise it right directly above my divisor bar, okay? And then I'm going to perform what's called long division, all right? So 4 times what number gets me 1? Well, there are no numbers times 4. There are no products that give me 1 if I multiply times 4. So that would be a 0, an invisible 0. It's just a placeholder, right? So I'm going to move on a digit over from 1, and that creates a 10. Is there a number times 4 that gets me closest to 10 without going over? And that value would be 2. So notice the 1 and the 0, that's a 10. Above my target digit, which is 0, I'm going to put the number I'm going to multiply times 4 that gets me closest to 10. Okay? So 4 times 2 is 8. I'm going to put an 8 right underneath that 10 and subtract it. Let me show that to you now. All right, so 4 times 2 gives me 8. I'm going to subtract 8 from 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. Okay, I'm going to take the next digit over, which happens to be 0. I'm going to bring it down. That creates the value of 20. Is there a number times 4 that will give me 20? And if so, right above that 0, I will put that number 5. 4 times 5 gives me 20. So what do you think I'm going to do with that product of 20? Well, if you said I'm going to subtract the product of 20 from 20, you're absolutely right. 20 minus 20 is 0. I can take my next digit to the right, which is 0, and bring that down. And as you can see, 0, 0. 4 times what number gives me 0 is 0. Bring down the 0, and I just keep going. 0. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0, and 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 goes on and on and on forever. So I'm done. 1/4, the fraction of 1/4 is equal to 0.25 or 25 hundredths, 25 cents, right? And so let's convert that decimal into a percentage. All right, so here you can see how 1/4 is equal to 0.25 or 25 cents, right? I like to use decimals as money, which is equal to 25%. If you take that decimal, you move it 2 places to the right, add your symbol, you get 25%. Okay? And so, again, 1/4. Another way of saying this is 1/4, right? It takes 4 quarters to make a dollar, right? 4 quarters. 0.25 would represent a quarter in change value, right? So that's why they say 1/4 is a quarter, because 1/4, 25 cents, plus another quarter, plus another 25 cents, plus another quarter, which is another 25 cents, 75 cents, plus another quarter, plus another 25 cents would give you a whole dollar, right? So 1/4, that's why they say 1/4 is a quarter, 1/4. Why? Because its decimal value is equal to 0.25, a quarter, okay? And then you move that decimal place 2 places to the right, and you got 25%. So fraction turned into decimal. Decimal move 2 times to the right, add your symbol, and you get your 25%. All right, stick around. I've got a bunch more examples I'd like to show you. Remember, math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. If I have helped you, please help me to help others. Thank you for your time.